Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing? Enjoying the market today? I guess it was Turnaround Tuesday and not Taco Tuesday. Well, what a day so sad. What's sad? I mean, it's just a down market. Yeah, Tesla is taking a nosedive. Crazy, right? Best ER. Wavy, remember where it's valued also, and remember what's going on with the whole Twitter stuff and Elon. It's going to get very interesting for Elon. Yeah, Tesla down 112, and I talked about if it broke that level this morning, we'll review it. Watch out below, and we are watching out below. And plus, remember I said watch the momentum bars in case they kick in on the open, and they definitely kicked in on the open. So, and by the way, just to review some stuff before we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it. House price index coming in hotter than normal. We already talked about consumer confidence coming in less than expected. New home sales less than expected. So that's a draw in the market, but it's not the total thing. We were already poised. Remember, in longer term sell signals, you get both rip your face off rallies and massive selling days. And you can see mega caps taking it in the shorts again, especially Tesla. Only thing that's a sea of green today is pretty much healthcare is a little mixed bag, but energy is moving up. FOMC still 100%, nothing there, and we're still in really negative gamma mode now. So that just makes these sell-offs, or if it does get to snapback rallies, even stronger. So, by the way, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting that like button. Longer term viewers, please like this video. It does take some time out of my trading to put this on midday. Just wanted to make sure everyone was doing okay and wasn't trying to grab just a bottom. Okay, let's take a look. S&P, as we talked about this morning, momentum bars returning, and then we've talked about before, hugging the 8. You go back to the 15 then. You finally got a little divergence down here, 15-minute rotation zone now forming back down. What am I watching for now? And there's no guarantee this holds, so this is not a front run pattern, okay? You are down from this run up yesterday. We got the close even on the 15-minute below the 62.5, which was a fantastic trade of the day, because then you target the 87.5 to 100 area, and we're bouncing in there, and we've already hit that 87.5 and rolling over. You only need to wait for that good patient trade. You don't have to try to call every top or bottom. Now, if we break down below the lows, this pattern's off. But 42.30, you need, I at least need a 5-minute close above there, and that would take it above the 15-minute rotation zone. So if you're going to get a snapback rally this afternoon, that's the only thing I see. 42.44, 42.51, 42.59. Again, not a front run pattern. You can see into the rotation zone and rotating down. Now, could you have an even bigger double pattern? Yes, you could, which we'll review end of day unless it wipes out everything. But that would be a massive rip your face off rally in only with what under 3 hours of trading left. So, do I think 4,200 will hold today? It's gonna I think it's gonna test that. I mean, statistics say it should test that, but gonna watch how it reacts to that level. Okay, if it slices through it at butter, and I'd rather see it not slice through it at lunchtime. I'd rather see it if we hold here and then slice through it after lunch hours. That would be much more substantive. But I will watch to see if there are stop fishing down here from yesterday, because there will be a lot of stops with this price action below yesterday's low. And remember, we're not trading back to all-time low or most recent swing lows. There's still a fair amount of support. And we did close below the 62.5. So statistically, even with yesterday's move, okay, even if we had rallied today instead of sold off, we still statistically favor returning to the 4168 area, or I should say 4169 for the sake of Elon, to 4100 area. So keep that in mind, and that doesn't have to happen today. That could happen tomorrow. Remember, we also have the earnings after the close and some mega caps, and we'll peek in on those too. NASDAQ, remember, we already hit that 87.5, breaking below yesterday's low, so that already flushed out some stops. And we can easily retest the March lows in the next day or so, easily. So do keep that in mind. Again, your short-term price action. This was, if you didn't spot the momentum bars in the S&P, this was a real quick hint in the NASDAQ. I mean, there was just relentless selling off the bat. A one-bar pause, and these one-bar pause plays are also great because when no one gets one bar and then you take out that bar, it's a great continuation short pattern because you got a really nice stop level. Something you might want to look at. This would not be my go-to double bottom pattern right here because of this mess and then this and this hiccup. You did have this little, which was valid, which already hit the first and second targets. Just wanted to point that out. So there is no strong reversal pattern in here. I'd be watching the S&P ones at this point. Okay, the other thing we can look at, we return to the 15-minute rotation zone. Remember to shift to that mid-morning. It's really beneficial to shift to that. It'll really help your trading from my perspective, whether it's in stocks or in the indices, because it tends, after you get that 5-minute momentum burn off, you tend to return to that 15-minute rotation zone. You also had the prior support area from yesterday turned into resistance. I just put on the most recent harmonics, and now if we do have a flush out move this afternoon, 1344.75 to 1335.25 will be very key for me. If you did drop, if we had something major happen, 12,974 is the next level, but I'd really watch 13,000 right in front of that. Dow, we still have, remember, we had this double top pattern, just recapping for everything, and now we're below that first target area again. Next target would be 33,127, then 32,835. Just showing again, here's those momentum bars on the Dow. You get a little more back and forth with the Dow, and now we got to look at that 15-minute. Still, this is still potentially a double bottom for a minor bit longer, unless we get another big push down in the selling. So your two doubles are coming in on the S&P and the Dow. If you hit that would just pretty much return it, you see here, into the 1 hour rotation zone. So next push down for the Dow, I'm watching about 33,232 to then down to 33,127. Russell back below. Russell's really getting to a critical point because it broke all these support ledges, and if you look on a closing basis, it's going to be very interesting to see where it closes today, and we'll recap this in a couple hours when we do the market close. But look at the closes on the Russell. Remember, closing is the most important data point of the day, all right? And look how far below this last close on the 27th of January are. So we'd have to have a pretty strong snapback rally in the Russell to avoid getting the lowest close since, wow, look at when that would be the lowest close since. I mean, back, I shouldn't have switched that so quickly. So I'm just trying to get a lot of information out. I mean, this would be the lowest close since back in December of 20, early December of 20. Keep that in mind. And this is, again, breakdown. Remember, Russell's big sideways ledge, and now looking to break down below it. So that is not strong price action. Let me jump to Tesla. Again, Tesla, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with this Twitter, whether the Twitter deal. And remember, the Twitter deal is not closed yet. Let me jump to Twitter real quick. Everybody seems to think, well, not the smart people out there, but a lot of ill-informed people, that it's magically a done deal. It's not magically a done deal. Twitter's still trading, okay? Twitter's actually trading down on the day. Also, if this was a done deal, even with this sell-off, Twitter would be trading roughly 54.20. Why? Because every time it dipped, if it was a slam dunk deal, It would be arbitrage trading. It would be whatever the dip is, buy the shares, because once it's taken private at 54.20, that's the payout. You see, that's not happening yet. So this is not a done deal. And you also are going to have people pile on Tesla because he's got to leverage and or sell Tesla and or both. But this actually makes the deal more interesting with this today. So earlier today, I talked about that 475, 975 area. Okay, you see here, right there, momentum bars through it. Next target was, for me, was this 930 area. We got pausing just below that, and at the 50% level, little pause, single bar, and then we took out that. So what am I watching for? I mean, if the NASDAQ turns around, now this 200 is minor resistance back at, I just trade off 900 to 902 if you do get a bounce. And then 928, 930 is resistance. I now have updated the retracement levels, the harmonic levels, because we're into the 50 to 62. And this is on this whole up move from the lows on February 24th to the highs on April 5th. We're in that potential rotation zone. So any bounce play, though, is now a bigger rollover play, most likely. If we get the close, next key level is 869.83. You get a close below that, and not just today. Then it favors a return down to 760 to 700, essentially. And that would freak people out. So if you're watching for any bounce plays, again, this 50% harmonic we went through earlier, this 930 level, so about 926, 930 with the 1 hour rotation zone would be what I'd be focusing on. All right, but there's no strong reversal pattern. There is possible waning momentum divergence during the lunch hour, though, so that's not just a dip by the dip here with this kind of momentum. Yeah, the volume at the high was very high, and there's a lot of theories out there like he could be selling Tesla again and saying, you know, it's for Twitter, and then the Twitter deal doesn't go through. He's had an excuse to sell Tesla stock. There's a lot of interesting things. I'm not going to, maybe I'll do another video that'll get absolutely slammed and annihilated about what I think at some point, but I'm not going to do that during a midday update. Crude, really nice reversal pattern, but still we're into the short. We're still in consolidation. So this is why you're seeing the bounce in oil stocks. I mean, you saw some upside momentum here, especially the break above 99.55. I was actually focusing on the $100 level, which you saw the back and forth, and then we're moving up. My next target was this 102 area, and then if we continue up higher today, 104 is my next target. Key support now is back at 99.55. Let me mark that off for any oil traders, because even if you're trading the stocks, you can use this price action to trade that. Gold, pretty much flat, but not involved in the sell-off today. Nice little consolidation bar. Silver actually holding up inside bar from yesterday. Notes, you see here, put out these harmonics this morning. Coming up here, not quite to that next harmonic, but holding above this key 120.01 level. That's really what I'm focused on for if we're going to break down at all. This is now the key level. Other than that, I will watch for a return to this 120.10. Dollar index with this continued sell-off is pushing higher, getting next to that, getting close to that 102.37 territory and back to really majorly oversold condition. Here's our custom mega cap index. Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, Google. You can see we got that close back on the 21st, back below the 62.5, which favored the return to 87.5 to the 100%, and we're definitely below that 87.5. And this gets key. You know, the technical analysis works on these custom indices too, so I'm going to be watching to see how these lows hold, especially with the mega cap earnings over the next couple days. VIX. This is slightly delayed, but we've had this strong reversal bar, and back above 30 is what I talked about before, and we got back above 30, so this may have some continued legs to move higher. area I'm watching next for this is about 33. We're back through 33, then I'm targeting 35. Your Vixen, this is actually a little more interesting. And again, I only have delayed data on this. Sorry about that. They don't let me get real-time data, at least on the platform. My trading platform does, but this does not. It's not an option, but I'm watching roughly 39. That's very key. Why is that key? Because you see the spikes back in January, spiking above it, but closing below. This is a daily close. This was a close below on February 24th. This was a close. We hit that on March 8th and 9th and then moved back down. So this is the key level on a closing basis. And even back at the 21 end of January of 21, you see we got 1 day close above it, then a quick reversal. So this is a very key level up here. You can even go 38.75, 38.80. So, you know, you've never seen Tesla like this. Why? You also, it would be one thing if Tesla was a normally valued stock, but it's not. And we haven't even seen, and you're going to see sell-offs. You're going to see amplified moves. I mean, look, you have your NASDAQ at this point. Your Tesla down 11%, but your NASDAQ down 3% and getting crushed. And this would be another, we had a 3% day on Friday, another 3% day today. So this is getting to very bearish territory. And I am not watching anything now is very short-term bottoms again, especially since outside reversal day, even if we were to rally back into the close, we have an outside reversal day, higher high and lower low than yesterday. And that is a bearish continuation pattern. UVXY. UVXY through the first two targets on the daily double bottom pattern. Yeah, if you're using the conservative one, there are the first two targets right there. Again, that's your ultra short term, your ProShares Ultra VIX short term futures. Again, this stuff works. On that, by the way, what else do we have? You had GME. Remember, this triggered that double top back on the 5th of April. All the targets now hit. There you go. Your next level lower on GME. And I hope there's some people tuning in. The major key area now is this 62.5% level, right about 122.60. There, we'll go give a shout out to Elon, 122.69. I think it's actually 67. We'll just go to 69 for Elon's sake. Close below there favors a return to some lower price action. So in case you were wondering, do the technical patterns work on the meme stocks? Yes, they work very well. All right. So they're just jumping in here during the lunch hour, trying to give people some hands. Again, don't try to call a bottom unless you start seeing some momentum bars in the NASDAQ S&P, all right? And remember, you can always watch. If we do get those momentum bars, let's just peek at the S&P again. We get some momentum bars. You can try to front run something, but the major pattern does not trigger until 42.30. Close the markets already. Too much red. Oh, this isn't too much red yet. Wavy. We're in a bear market. This is just getting fun. This is getting fun, you know. This is the kind of fun trading. Now, when we eventually get to that bull market again, it'll be nice and relaxing. It'll be calm, smooth sailing. We won't have to worry about the major reversals, the rip your face off rallies, the death selling. So just keep that in mind. Enjoy these times. At 500 Tesla bulls will be dead. Well, you know, you know what I'm talking about long term, and I'm not wishing anybody to be dead. I hope people are following their stops. Please follow your stops, and please know where to cut your losses. You can always make up for losses, but when you wipe out 50% of your portfolio, you need 100% on the remaining funds to get back to break even. Tesla levels changed. I already went over that. I'll just review them again because I know there's so many Tesla traders on any rally. If we do get a reversal pattern, I would watch for the snapback rally 926 to 929 with the 1 hour rotation zone. Next key push lower is the 62.5. 869. There we go. Shout out to Elon again. 869, Elon, 83. You don't want your stock to close below that from a technical analysis point. So that would be my next major target lower. Keep in mind also minor resistance now at the 200, which is roughly the magic 900 number. So, and it's not a wall here. That's a minor area because things will gravitate to that if we get the bounce. But I would not just be willy-nilly buying this at this point. This is not a strong bottoming pattern yet. We need a change in the markets first. When is the buy signal, Mike? For what, Sean? What, for the next bull market? I'll let you know when we get a long-term buy signal. We don't have one yet. We don't have one. By the way, Tesla could be getting interesting enough. Not yet. It won't trigger today. It won't even probably trigger this week, but Tesla could be getting to a long-term buy signal. Remember, also NASDAQ triggered the long-term, one of the long-term buy signals. S&P, if we close down this week, will trigger this long-term buy signal. And Dow will most likely trigger a long-term buy signal. So besides the systems that I follow that I cannot release, due to the proprietary nature, the ones that I can cover on here will probably also in the S&P and Dow, unless we have a pretty strong recovery week, will trigger again another set of sorry, I said buy signals, another set of sell signals. Tesla, your favorite stock? I wouldn't stand in front of this. There could be some short-term buys. I don't have one yet. When do we get a long-term buy? Don't have a long-term buy yet on Tesla. I'll let you know when I do. With that, I will talk to everybody in just under 3 hours. Just under 3 hours, and I will be back to do the market wrap-up, and we'll check on the earnings going into the close. Remember, after the close of the day, Microsoft and Alphabet. So that will be continued interesting price action. Everybody stay safe out there. Don't try to catch falling knives. Work with your patterns. If you don't have patterns and you don't have anything to trade, don't be a fool. There'll always be another day to trade. There's always going to be another pattern. There's always going to be something at some point to trade. Don't try to be a hero and I called the bottom and then it crushed you. Bye for now.